Good morning. And when I say good morning, what I actually mean is actually good morning. Who would have thunk it? Oh my God. If you are watching live on Twitch, you're probably used to the scoop going out at 10 a.m.-ish, which, as we've said many, many times before, is well, it's ish. It's ish. We can go live at 4 p.m.-ish, as we did the other day. Today, we went live whilst it was still 10 a.m. ish. It was like 10:50 something or other. So welcome in if you are watching this on Twitch. How you doing? Hey, my name is Graham and I'm joined by the man that we call Baby.
Good morning, Graham.
If anyone did hear the bong noise, then that will probably be on the recording. That was me opening up the chat bot because I see JMK has typed exclamation mark time and there is no chat bot there to give him the result, which is 10 a.m. ish. But it's
outrageous.
I know. Goddamn. You can tell that we are live pretty early this morning because Lake was in nice and early and he said, the fudge? Which means, what are you live at the time that you're supposed to be live for? So yes.
Someone's definitely leaned on the button to accidentally go live.
Oh no, it's just me and Bibby just sat there just having a brew. You like them, Bib?
Definitely having a brew.
Yeah, exactly. I've not got a brew. I've got Mineralwasser. God, all these ads have got to go. Twitch hates you now. I mean, to be fair, that ad is for us, so that would be okay. The channel ad beginning at the start of the stream is to tell people to subscribe to us on Twitch. So Twitch would be like, oh wait, sorry, you're advertising for us to make money and not yourself. Yeah, okay, you can do that. I mean, we thought you were going to make the money without us. So that's okay. Funnily enough, that story is within the news today. We had it in the Discord last night. I obviously shared a tweet on it yesterday because it was just a big oof. And if you don't know what it is, well, the third story of the day is the fact that Twitch has angered streamers with new ad rules and then instantly apologizes. If you want to hear that story, then do feel free to stick around because we will bring you that and a whole lot more, as this is the UK's #1 video game podcast, if we do say so ourselves. As mentioned, I am Graham, this is Bib, we are Ice Cream Uploads, and in true Ice Creamy fashion, this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast, and we are bringing you the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories like that one from the world of video games. We'll then give you our thoughts and impressions, but we want to hear your thoughts and impressions, and if you're in the chat, please do feel free to give us your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. That's kind of how the whole thing works. So please do get involved over the next hour or so. We are live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads, where we go live each and every single weekday at 10 a.m.
ish.
Nice, which is perfectly on point today. So I love it when we're getting to say that. Exactly. Nice. But the live stream is turned into a podcast, a video on YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud. Not SoundCloud. Fuck, Amazon Music and Google Play. It's ingrained into my brain because we had like 700 episodes with SoundCloud. But fuck those guys. I mean, we'll be SoundCloud, but Amazon Music, just better. Yeah, before we jump into the news though, finishing that bit, please do feel free to get involved on behalf of those people that do watch and listen on demand. If you are watching and listening on demand, hey, how you doing? You are one of over 200,000 people that have watched and listened to our podcast services on demand since we kicked off the Scoop a few years ago. So we appreciate everyone that does tune in, that does listen, that does watch on YouTube, that fires it up on Spotify in the car on the way into the office or whatever. Thank you very much. We appreciate all the support that you guys give us. Also, speaking of support, shout out to our channel sponsors, Astro, GT Omega, Insert Coin. Also, we don't often say Logitech, but shout out to Logitech G, by the way. Same family as Astro. We became Astro partners because we used Astro products and stuff. And as an extension of that, we have been indoctrined, nice word, into the world of Logitech G, which... Hashtag ad, because I've got my mouse in my hand. And I mean the one that I click, not the one that I double click. Wait, no. Yeah, so we use Logitech G products now. This is an absolute hard sell. I'm definitely corporate shilling. Buy their stuff, but use our code because it supports us. But this is where it comes less of a corporate shill, is Logitech G have given us a prize bundle to give away to you. We are talking mouse mat, headset, keyboard. So if you're thinking, do you know what, actually, this streaming malarkey, I mean, I've got to get a PC, but, you know, then I need all of my peripherals and stuff. And then, you know, it's quite expensive buying all. You're looking at a couple of £100, 2, 3, 4, depending on what you get, hundreds. So, yeah, long story short, Astro Logitech, I have to say, Astro, because I've just seen Enix right in the chat. Logitech have given us a bundle, and we will be giving that away not anytime soon. But we will be telling you how you could win that pretty soon. So do keep your eyes on our social channels a little bit later on today. We will be posting that out, and we can talk about it in tonight's stream a little bit more. Nice.
Nice.
But yeah, nice, fun times. Okay, jump into the split screen. Baby. Does it say baby's home? It does say baby's home. Okay, I need to change that one around. Split screen. SU Studio, let's go. Skadoosh. Let's jump back through the chat. JMK says, exclamation mark time. It should work now. We should be back. What? Where's that handsome face? It's in the mirror, babe. Hey. Shout out to Mr. Spidge as well yesterday, because I showed Bibby your clip yesterday of you Panzerfausting the dub after you've set yourself going with the gas can launch. Again, it's like, you've got that stuff nailed. I would have just died from the gas can somehow. Yeah. I'd have set no, the Molotov. I'd have thrown it into the smoke. That's it. Game over. No, I'm dead. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, do check out Mr. Spidge. If someone has the ability to do a shout out in the chat, that would be very, very much appreciated. Do feel free to shout out Mr. Spidge. But anyway, I tweeted it saying, if that was us, it would have been, I see you died from falling, and he was like. He was like, yeah, but I'd catch you. I was like, what a smooth guy. You'd love to see it.
Love that.
But yeah, do feel free to check out Mr. Pigeon. He is great. His content is great. Not only is he ridiculously good at PUBG, but what he brings is not just full sweat. You can be really good at the game and then just play as a person that plays really good. But what he does is, okay, we've got good now. Now what do we do? Let's have fun. So he understands how to play the game very, very well and does some really cool creative stuff. So please do feel free to check out Mr. Pigeon. He's very good. He's very good. Two handsome folks. Let's go. Yeah. It's so smooth. Is that Astro logo 3%? I think you'll find that you're actually incorrect. It doesn't need to be 3%-ish. Only if we, I know we kind of made it abundantly clear that it needed to be 3%, but actually we didn't mean it needed. Maybe our language used was a little bit vague. Okay, if you don't know what we're talking about, that is a conversation around Twitch. We will get to that. It's actually third in the order, so I'll come to that one shortly. But first things first, it's been a couple of days, but we didn't get to scoop yesterday. Busy day. But on Monday evening, Apple unveiled that it is getting into the world of VR with a mixed reality headset called the Vision Pro. If you haven't seen this, I watched the trailer on it, and I thought, do you know what? That
My name is Optimus Prime.
Enixtimus Prime. Thank you, Enix, for 34 months with the Prime. I appreciate that very, very much. Bibby doesn't. I do, though. Thank you
very much. Fuck that guy.
But yes, Apple is releasing a VR/mixed reality headset called Vision Pro. It actually, the trailer looks pretty cool. The price, though, not so much. $3,500 is what they're going to be charging, which naturally, when you change that to pounds, accounting for conversion rates and so on, that's like £7,000 because some reason conversion rates don't really work when it comes to technology. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No chance. Exactly. Don't mind him. Goddamn. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. I need to cut this down so it's a bit shorter.
Yeah, he goes on for a long old time, doesn't it?
Nice. So yes, mega expensive. We'll talk through that one first, but then we do have a contrasting news day. Like some stories that are good, some stories that are not so good, some stories that just will start limbs flying. But one that is good, we'll kick off with after that one, is a new Capcom showcase will take place next week. That's Monday, 3 p.m. PDT, which is 11 p.m. BST. So Monday night, 11 p.m. Capcom showcase. Bibby will be sat with a box of tissues waiting for all the latest Resident Evil news. It's going to be good, hopefully. Hopefully. Then we get into the one that people are already talking about, the 3% stuff. If you don't know what that means, you don't know why people are saying that, we will tell you. Twitch has angered streamers with new ad rules and then immediately apologizes. We'll jump from that into something that made Tito happy in the Discord. Western Digital has launched its Xbox Series X and S storage expansion cards. Prices start at $80, which, because you get $1.2 roughly to the pound, naturally means that that's £86. What the fuck? It costs £6 more, even though... What the... Okay, you get it. Yeah. And then finally, June's PlayStation Plus Essential Games are now available to claim. So, !FF, we will bring you your free game Friday on a Wednesday, because that's just how we roll. Nice. So, Bib, did you see the Apple headset?
Yes. I did. Yes. Me and Flynn actually had a conversation upstairs about it. It's more Free Guy than it is Ready Player One. We've both come to the conclusion of. I mean, it's two-way in it. You can see through it, and then you can do eye tracking and shit.
It is more Free Guy, but it's definitely not Free Guy. Ivan at VGC has this article that says Apple has unveiled a $3,500 mixed reality headset called Vision Pro. The company's, quote, first spatial computer will launch in early 2024. So Apple has finally revealed its long-anticipated mixed reality headset, the Vision Pro. Announced during its Worldwide Developers Conference on Monday, the headset will cost $3,499 when it launches in the United States in early 2024. Billed as Apple's first spatial computer, Vision Pro will be released in more countries later next year. Vision Pro creates an... this is a quote, by the way. Vision Pro creates an infinite canvas for apps that scales beyond the boundaries of a traditional display and introduces a fully three-dimensional user interface controlled by the most natural and intuitive inputs possible, a user's eyes, hands, and voice, the company said. Featuring Vision OS, the world's first spatial operating system, Vision Pro lets users interact with digital content in a way that feels like it is physically present in their space. The breakthrough design of Vision Pro features an ultra-high resolution display system that packs 23 million pixels across two displays and custom Apple silicone in a unique dual-chip design to ensure every experience feels like it's taking place in front of the user's eyes in real time. Users will be able to play over 100 Apple Arcade games with Vision Pro, which will also support popular game controllers like PlayStation 5's DualSense Pad. Vision Pro is compatible with Magic Keyboard and Magic Trackpad 2, and its new App Store will play home to hundreds of thousands of familiar iPhone and iPad apps, according to Apple. Vision Pro's external pocket-sized battery will offer up to 2 hours of use when fully charged. Quote, creating our first spatial computer required invention across nearly every facet of the system, said Mike Rockwell, vice president of Apple's technology development group. Quote, through a tight integration of hardware and software, we designed a standalone spatial computer. Could just say spatial computer again. We've not heard that enough. In a compact wearable form factor that is the most advanced personal electronics device ever. End quotes. Also, Kojima is bringing Death Stranding to Apple platforms. Let's go! So... we have a very Macho Man Randy Savage glasses-looking device.
Yeah.
Which, not a bad thing. I mean, it's a cool-looking geezer. But it comes with a not-so-cool price tag. If you haven't seen the trailer, by the way, the trailer is pretty cool. Do you know, I'll put the trailer on whilst we dissect this. It is embedded in the article. I will keep it muted. I said trailer. It starts off with the trailer. It's a 9-minute video. It's pretty cool. So it's not like your standard VR headset. It's not like a PSVR. It's not with a hard shell in the front. It's glass, effectively, that you can see through. But it can then project onto that. So you can wear them as glasses and look around. And if you want to grab your brew in front of you, you don't have to lift up your headset to see where it is. You can see where it is on the counter. And in the advert that's showing on the screen now, super immersive environment and where was it? It was there. So there, they want you to sit in your living room and relax with this huge, full, like almost 360 environments that you can move around with head tracking and so on. They want you to watch films in this, which I find quite interesting. Like if you're watching a film and you sit in your living room, your TV doesn't move, but you do. They want to replace your peripherals. They want to replace a bunch of devices, and they're seeing this as home electronics, which is where $3,500 comes into it. When it comes to VR headset and gaming, gamers will not pay that sort of price that premium for basic. Gamers will pay that to go above and beyond. Check out top-end PC gaming, for example. But for off-the-shelf mainstream gaming, £500 to £700 is where things peak. Look at the PS5. Look at the Xbox Series X. Buy the peak version in a bundle, unless you go to game where you have to buy 12 extra controllers and so on. You're looking at about £500 to £700. So Apple doesn't want this as a gaming thing. They don't call it a VR headset. They call it a Vision Pro. They didn't call an iPhone a mobile phone. It was a smartphone. They're changing the landscape for themselves. And as a bunch of people have kind of said in the chat, Iceman, it's Apple. Of course they're likely overpriced. And then don't worry, you can get it for £250 a month. Easily affordable, says Ro. Good morning, Ro, by the way. Good morning, Iceman. Good morning. That sort of stuff. Like, this is Apple. Apple do inflate the cost. Don't get me wrong. I have an iPhone and a bajillion 75-year-old iPads scattered around the house and so on. So I'm semi in the Apple environment. And I do buy into Apple's ethic in terms of high-quality components, high-quality software, and unless they're nuking your battery because they're fuckstains, high-quality products that will last you a bunch of years. So I do believe in Apple, like, as an expensive product. Some expensive products are worth it. Some expensive products are just brands that you're paying an expensive chunk for. Apple is a bit of both, but you do get quality. That said, $3,500, £250 a month is what Rose said you can get this on. That's more than a lot of people will spend on a car. And when you finish paying off your car, you've got a car that you keep driving. Your car isn't superseded every 12 to 24 months. Even just last week, I think it was. What's not Oculus Rift, Valve, Meta Quest, that's it. Meta Quest 3 has been announced. It only feels like 5 minutes ago we got the Meta Quest 2. It was 3 years ago, I think, maybe, something like that.
It's a Facebook thing, isn't it? So they're just going to churn them out as fast as possible.
Well, that's what Apple do, though. Every year you get a new iMac. Every year you get a new iPhone. Every year there's new operating system upgrades, which everyone can use, but to get everything out of it, you need the latest chipset, which is only available in this year's devices and so on. So if you spend £250 a month, this costs £3,500. I'm just going to say it does. We don't know what the pound cost is. £250 a month. You're spending over a year paying it off monthly, kind of to get to the point of being able to own this. Dr. Mike, thank you very much for the 12-month sub. Thank you for the sub anniversary. Happy sub day to you. Okay, we'll stop there. Thank you, Dr. Mike. I appreciate that very much. Love you. So yes, anyway, £250 a month is more than some people will spend on their cars. More than a lot of people will spend on hiring a car every month. For something that effectively does things that you already have, but in a different way, and will probably be superseded or just about to be superseded when you pay it off. Which means that you never stop paying it off because you have to upgrade and go again. Your car or your TV or, back in the days, VCR, DVD player, hi-fi system, whatever things they're looking to have this replace, you would pay it off and you were set until it broke or whatever. Now this is just another commodity that Apple expects you to spend an inordinate amount of cash to be able to use this stuff, but forever. And that's not even factoring in Apple TV subscriptions and your Apple fucking cover subscriptions and all of the other stuff, the cloud, Apple cloud sort of subscription stuff that you'll need to get access to, blah, 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 blah. Fucking, it's $350 a month that you need to spend for this sort of stuff by the time you factor all that in. And it's just not good for me. I love the idea of it, don't get me wrong. Love the idea of it. It looks great, seeing that Minority Report stuff, pinching stuff, moving it further away. Oh, this TV... Do you know, I wish I wasn't watching this on a 40-inch TV. Let's go 60-inch bad boy and stretch that fucking thing. If you could do that with your TV, you fucking would. But nah.
I'd love to know, obviously, when this actually comes out, the uptake on it. Like, how many people are investing into this one? Is it going to be businesses primarily? Is this who this is aimed at, or is this aimed at your general consumer? Like, I don't know who the target audience is for this at that price. It makes no sense to have for the average consumer. It will be for, again, we'll mention at the top 3% or whatever, people whose annual household intake is like £200,000 or more. That's who it's probably aimed at. But that's not the general consumer. That's where I think the PlayStation VR has started to fail because of how expensive it is with the lack of content in that. If there was 70 games on release for PlayStation VR, would that have been an easier sell for them? I think it would have been, but it still wouldn't have.
I don't know what you mean. PlayStation told me that PSVR is doing great. PSVR 2 sold more than PSVR 1 and everything's fantastic and everyone has it. I mean, you clearly know loads of people that have got a PSVR 2, right?
Every single person I know that bought a PlayStation 5 as a PSVR 2.
I bet you can count every single person that you know that owns a PSVR on no fingers. Well, PSVR 2.
On one fist, I can count every single person who's bought one.
So, I mean, it's wonderful. Don't get me wrong, baby. If I said to you, I've got an Apple Vision Pro headset in the studio, do you want to crack it out and have a play? You'd be like you'd be already into the cupboard grabbing it before I even finish the sentence.
Confirmed.
It looks phenomenal. It looks great. It looks amazing. We would all like to have a dabble. That's what she said. But $3,500 is not a dabble. $3,500 is more than you will spend on your. You are
a lifetime commitment.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
What it is.
That's your Sky TV subscription with everything for 2 years, probably, maybe 3. I don't know how much it costs or whatever. But and maths. So like it's that level of commitment. It's your car for a year and a half. That level of commitment. Would you give up your car for 18 months, walking everywhere, using public transport, so that you can have some Macho Man Randy Savage goggles that allow you to
fucking hell, size of this
think
moth.
of it like you have it now. You have it. You've sacrificed your car. Fuck it. We're in a post-COVID world. I live in a hybrid environment where I can work from home, and the office is actually not too bad to get to. I can just jump on a train. Jobs are good, and I will sit at home with my Apple Vision Pro device on, and then you start to see the apps get upgraded to account for the Vision Pro users, all 7 of you. And you sat there on your Zoom call, and I'm like, whoa, this is fucking amazing. I've got Bibby's face. Bibby is sat here in a chair in my living room, whilst OG Bibby, he's in the chat. Hey, other Bibby, wow, he's sat on the other chair there. It looks like he's sat there. I've probably merged his head onto a body, so it looks like I'm in a real meeting with people. But the other people that are talking to you, either there's a camera inside the fucking headset, so you've got my eyes and my forehead, or the camera's outside the headset, and I'm sat there like Macho Man Randy Savage with my ski goggles on. So, like, unless everyone else has it, you still look stupid. So not only have you spent a stupid amount of money, you look stupid to everyone else, which is the majority of people, that doesn't have one. So it's just like, what does it have to then like scan my face to give a fake version of me to other people, like some form of deep fake version because they can't actually see my face because I've got the Predator's mask on or something like that? Nah.
Is this where we're going to create an entire world of socially awkward people? Because this is the way that people are going to end up, conversing with each other, speaking to each other. Eventually, we're going to end up with like a Demolition Man style sex scene. Where they're having the headset on and stuff like that. Like, is that well?
No swapping of bodily fluids, by the way. No swapping of bodily fluids.
I mean, this is very much a BBC-esque type question. Someone please think of the children, because they're going to be introverts and stuff like that. But it's a world in which VR is. This is what we've been aiming for like 60 years, right? When people have wanted this VR virtual reality type getaway break from the world, and you're able to invest your time, maybe not all of your time because that'll be a bit weird, but just to be able to have a break from the real world. I love all this stuff. I think like it's a fantastic piece of tech for everyone to be able to try and enjoy at some point. But I don't know where the line in the sand is with this one, Graham. Like where do we stop? Where do we think, okay, this is enough? Because I can't see that ever being the case until the world self-destructs.
Yes.
I didn't know if your internet had gone down there, so I just left a nice little pregnant pause in for the people who are listening to this on audio devices.
No, I'm just I'm trying to compute it. I'm trying to compute it. Well, actually, to be fair, I was trying to compute it, and I've also now just been sidewinded by Lake's last comment. For anyone that didn't see it yesterday, I posted a picture saying, meanwhile, on Facebook, which was some person posting some like jokey thing to Facebook Marketplace. For £69, you could buy a handshake machine, which is basically... Spoilers, crude words ahead. It was a machine that was essentially meant to wank you off. It was a joke post. But Lake's put, imagine Vision Pro plus that handshake chair combined with what Graham tweeted. Fuck me. I mean, literally. God damn. So, yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, okay. We'll start wrapping this bit up. I will go back through all of the comments, though, because we do have quite a lot. Because naturally, it's a cool, but also weird, but also thought-inducing device. So yeah, everyone's got a bunch of stuff to say. Oi, Savoy! Giving what away, missed the start. I'm guessing it's PS only. A bunch of Logitech stuff. We'll tell you later, mate. Fly like a bird. It was good. It was good. Twitch ninjas are on the way. No. There we go. What have I done to you, Bibby? Says Enix. What has he done to you, Bibby? What did you say?
I mean, is he a United fan? So I mean, that's the first part of call.
Hey, not all United fans are like Enix. God. There are two things. See how far Apple can push diehard fans, and it could set a bad precedent for VR if it sells well, as prices would bump up potentially. I think VR prices are being bumped potentially anyway. Don't get me wrong. There is this weird dance between gaming and home electronics. Gaming is cheaper pound for pound than home electronics. We've had this conversation before. Buying a DVD player, obviously go back a couple of generations, buying a DVD player was 3 times as expensive as buying a PS2 kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
People were buying PS2s because it was cheaper than buying a DVD player and it had all the extra functions that came with it. Nice. But that's because DVD players were the Vision Pro. They were this new tech that people would sit around in their living room, whereas games consoles were for weird nerds that sat in the parents' basements, or so people thought. And then people have started to embrace gaming, but gamers haven't let people fully embrace their culture and yeet their prices up at the same time. So we, pound for pound, pay less for gaming electronics than we do for a new phone or a new car or a home entertainment system, whatever it is. So, yes, this could start to push the prices up. And we have started to see that with, air quotes, failing efforts at from Meta, Facebook, and now Apple. And not now Apple, now PlayStation, and now Apple. So, yeah, we've seen people start to try to push the price up. The fact that the PSVR 2 costs more than a console would have been blasphemy, but they're trying. They are chipping away, and every time they chip away, every time they normalize that extra level of expenditure, the more it will whittle that down. So yes, there is the 2 points there. It could set a bad precedent for VR. I mean, it's not so much bad. I will be cautious of using the word bad. It's bad because I don't want to spend extra cash. Nobody wants to spend extra cash, but it is bad in terms of pound for pound. Buying consoles, brands would lose money on that because that's what the market had normalized. It isn't necessarily right from a development perspective, but when they make that much money on games and software, then okay, whatever. If you don't want to lose money on the hardware, well, drop the price of your software. But they won't do that, so that's the reason why people are like, well, we're not going to go for it. So yes, I do believe Apple are going to see what they can get away with this. I hope it doesn't sell well, but sells well enough that they go, okay, well, people are interested. It was a good first chance. It was a good first try. But Apple's next generation hardware, and that's every year, the next generation, doesn't tend to go down in price. So yeah, a DVD player cost you 1,300 quid a couple of years ago. Well, 10, 15, 20 years ago. It'll now cost you 8 quid because nobody watches DVDs because it's old hat sort of stuff. Whether that would happen with Apple stuff, though, I just don't see it. I think what's more likely to happen is Apple go, yeah, but the amount of technology and hardware and stuff that comes in this device, it has to be $3,500 or we just won't bother selling it. So I think that's what will happen. Hopefully that is what happens because I want VR to be mainstream and acceptable. I don't want VR to be a biannual contract that costs you $3,500, 1,750 quid every year. Get in the bin. Nobody.
Yep.
There's a cost of living crisis. Nobody can afford to throw that on, which someone actually mentioned somewhere, which I'll carry on back through the comments. Don't forget Madden NFL 20. I mean 21. I mean 22. I mean 23. Wait, no, 24. Drill tonight. Exactly. I say up one. Same. Drop it once and it's over. Exactly. So having that wonderful glass-fronted thing, $3,500 worth of product. Drop it. Oh, it's fucked. You've got lenses inside it, so even if it doesn't smash, your lenses could be out of place. You've got audio stuff in there. So much technology means a lot more risk of it going wrong. Anyone that's had an old school car where you've pretty much just got a key that goes into a ball of fire, okay, well, that doesn't go wrong. And then you get your modern day devices that you've got electric windows, electric handbrake, electric blah, blah, blah. Lots of it can go wrong, and it costs a lot more to fix it because you can't just do it yourself. So, yeah, there's definitely a potential for that. Plus your home insurance costs. You stick anything over $3,000 on your home insurance and your premium goes up. That's $3,500 there, and it's easily stealable and easily breakable. So, yeah. This headset just seems like Apple thinking, fuck it and seeing how it does. Headsets last for 2 hours on one battery pack. No doubt Apple will sell battery pack for a ridiculous price. Sell it for a stupid price to see how many people will actually pay it while it's packed full of really good tech. Their whole excuse is, why buy a new TV with a full sound system for $12K when you can get this headset for $3.5K? But who's buying a new TV and a new sound system for $12K? I'm not. I've probably, in my entire life, I say probably, I have definitely, in my entire life, not spent £12,000 on TVs and sound systems. Like, I'll leave things like portable sound devices there, including all of these monitors, all 7,000 that I've got here, plus every TV that I've bought. I'm not over £12,000 spent on TVs in my entire life. So don't get me wrong, people do, especially if you are massively, you're a movie buff or you're an audiophile that wants the best in sound quality. One of the guys at Jelly Media has an audio system that is worth that and more, kind of thing. Not me. And I'm doing all right in life. So I could spend a good chunk of cash on an entertainment system, but I couldn't spend $12K, and I definitely wouldn't want to drop $3,500K. I wouldn't spend $3,500K on a top-of-the-range TV. So... Yeah,
I think most of my TVs have been secondhand. Like, I can't remember a time, apart from the TV that I have now. I think that's the first one that I've genuinely been out and bought myself.
How much?
I'm sure
the one you've got now, if you're all right saying that, is how much is the TV that you've got now?
It was about $550.
Yeah, I think I was about the same. I think mine was a £700 TV that I got on Boxing Day from, I can't remember the name of it. Not a Curry's or anything like that. A hi-fi shop near me. Mine was, I think I used something like AO or a John Lewis just to get the price matchy stuff because it was nearby, because they were doing a Boxing Day sale, and I went in with a price match and I got it for about $550 as well. Same. And that's possibly, I mean, I've bought more expensive. The TV that I had in the living room before that was, go back 15 years, we got a £700 TV that came with the home cinema, like the subwoofer and the 7.1 or 5.1 surround sound speakers that you put up all around your living room. So then I was buying a TV, a DVD player, and home cinema sort of setup. But £700. So those two together only takes me to £1,200, and that's the majority of my adult life so far.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. I really don't see the point of it, says Pidge. I mean, that's the thing. People didn't really see the point of smartphones until they were shown the point of it. But they're not really showing you the point of it yet. They're showing you, oh, that's cool. But cool isn't function. Cool is a fad, and fads disappear. Someone mentioned it. I might have gone past it, or we might come up to it. Someone mentioned going to the cinema and seeing 3D. That was cool, but nobody does that anymore because it was... Oh,
My name is Optimus Prime.
Iceman!
Even after this long, you likely won't pay off the Vision Pro Kappa.
Even after this long, you likely won't. Yeah, exactly. You won't pay off the Vision Pro ever. You won't ever pay it. But yeah, someone was saying that like 3D didn't last long. I feel like it's the same with this. Oh, great, you can pinch and move TVs and stuff around, but you are ultimately isolating yourself. I mean, I don't know about you, but going to the cinema with mates is a cool experience. Turning the TV series, be that Ted Lasso, be it a real football game, whatever, watching that with people in the same environment is great. But suddenly you've got your own headset with your own bubble wrapped around your face, which instantly provides some form of disconnection to everyone around you. Doesn't necessarily give me the environment that I want for watching that. But I don't have a TV anymore, at least not a big one, because I've just spent $3,500 on putting a bubble around my head. So you can't just go, get rid of your TV and use this instead. Yeah, but what happens when someone comes round? Oh, I've only got the one TV, and you wear it on your face, so we'll take it in turns to watch it.
You'd have to hold it out. You'd have to hold it out, like, you get to see that cup, and I get to see that cup.
Yeah.
Shite.
Tito says this will be picked up by a lot of businesses, I reckon. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Don't get me wrong, this is probably something that Jelly Media would pick up to dabble with. We picked up Oculus Rifts, Valve Index, the Meta Quests. We've had all of those. We've got PSVR, not PSVR 2. But we get all of that sort of stuff to have a dabble, to understand where the market is going, to understand where opportunities are, research and development. A lot of businesses will buy that, and you will get experiential businesses that will be buying 4 or 5 of them so that you can do cool events, just like you got experiential businesses 20 years ago that would buy Wii's and then do the Wii Olympics. I literally worked for a financial services business. It was based in Huddersfield Town. It was owned by the guy that owned Huddersfield Town. And one of their team building days was basically one of our big side rooms, which is where you'd go for like your corporate banquets when you're at Huddersfield Town match kind of thing. It was just emptied out, and they just set up like 40-inch TVs. Oh, it was 20 years ago, so they were probably 20-inch TVs, but they felt like 40-inch TVs. 40-inch TVs with a Nintendo Wii, and then you were all competing against each other so you could get fucking first place in the race or whatever. You'll get that sort of stuff with this. But is that worth £3,500 per person? I mean, businesses will get their money back on it because they'll sell that as a 20 grand thing to corporate businesses that want their team building sort of stuff. But beyond that, where does it go? It just feels the novelty bit. Like Spidge said, I don't see the point of it. Me, long term, I don't either. It wiped a fair amount of the stock price as they were announcing it. Tito says 1%, right? Forney says 3%, I believe. Everyone loves 3% at the moment. God damn. Twitch, 3% of the ads. Apple, 3% of the share price. Gone. Already lobbying my boss to get them for the team. There you go. OG Bibby. He works in experiential events. He'll get them all. They'll all be sat there with their bubble headsets on kind of thingy. So, yeah. No. Don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, okay, we'll come down to your place for a brew so we can play some games. I mean, I do want to try it. I do want to play it, but probably don't want it. The whole world is struggling with rising inflation. There we go. It's Apple, of course. They're likely overpriced. Add to that the cost of living crisis. Will not be buying this. Way too expensive, says JMK. Totally Back to the Future stuff. It's too expensive for something that most people are going to use 5% of the time. I think the last VR survey was. But they don't want this as VR. They want this as your TV, as your photo viewing device. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't sit there and go, do you know what? I want to look at photos in full screen for 3 hours. But Apple thinks people do that. So there you go. Yeah. So, 15% of your time, maybe. She was just using a laptop with it. Surely she doesn't need the laptop. Yeah, well, this is the thing. Like, they had the laptop, they had keyboards and mice like hooked up to it, so people were still using external peripherals. And that's the thing when I'm talking about the form factor, because like you get all of those like digital keyboardy sort of stuff where you're just seeing keyboards floating in space, so you're just waving your fingers around like you're like doing some sort of like magic, like but in the headset, in your little glass bubble, you're typing away. So there'll be a bit of that sort of stuff too. But where does it stop? When is it useful? Is the tech that not that polished that it's good to use for a side bit, but you need a proper clicky feel for a keyboard to make it? I don't know. So yeah, in before what's seen in the video doesn't match reality. Exactly. It locks, I believe, and has spatial audio, so will adjust based on head position. Interesting. The one thing I both like and think is stupid at the same time is that it's not chunky, but it also looks like you're wearing the old safety goggles you'd have in science classes. Watch Manner of Savage goggles. I'll have you know, David. We've established this fact already. Oi! Doctor, welcome in. We are quite a bit behind in the chat, by the way, because we have been talking about this for the best part of an hour. So I will catch up with the comments. I don't like their anti-repair ethics and overpriced monopoly of an ecosystem. Apple tax. Definitely don't want to test if they melt with the Bunsen burner. Mac for the win. I have a 9-year-old iPad and it still works. You show me one Android tablet still older than 2 years and still switches on. Do you know what? I do agree with that. Some people will probably have some, but I would agree. I've got an iPad that's probably about the same age. It does work. It's slow now, but like...
What generation is it?
iPad, probably first or second-ish sort of thing, somewhere like that. I think it was the first one that had the lightning plug on it, so like maybe third, I don't know. But still works to a decent extent. But the downside with it, the thing that stopped it working is the software, in terms of they stopped supporting that generation of devices like 4 years ago. So you can watch things like the Twitch app on it, but you can't update to the newest version of the Twitch app, so it blocks you at a certain point. Which some apps work, some just stop. But the hardware actually still is decent. On the flip side, and I can't speak for everyone, no doubt we'll have someone will have a similar thing with an Android tablet. But David, for example, would buy 16 Android tablets that would all just turn into an actual brick after like 18 months kind of thing. So that's the good thing. Apple Tax does, like the bit I was on about before, Apple Tax definitely does add a level of quality and a level of timelessness. But a level of timelessness doesn't mean timelessness, because as we've seen with Apple nuking batteries, because we just thought it'd be better for you if you just bought a new one. Yeah, of course it would be. Of course it would be. So yeah. But yeah. Thanks a million for letting me be a part of ICU team. Do you know what? My pleasure. Anyone else that wants to join the clan, !clan in the chat. The command will have a link to a giveaway, which is now finished, by the way. Iceman, his headset went out yesterday, and JMK got his PSN credit voucher amount jobby thing sent over yesterday. So that's all been sent out. So there is no giveaway anymore for anyone that wants to join the clan, but you can feel free to join. But yeah, Doctor, if you'd have joined a couple of days before, you'd have been in the giveaway. Ooh. 1 year in the ICU. Let's go, baby. Imagine if Bright House sold these, there would be about $7 grand. They started the presentation aiming at business. I just feel like, okay. Bibby might have to forego another Lambo to afford this. I'm not sure. I'm not sure he would do that.
Ooh.
12! Exclamation mark, moth, exclamation mark, lurk. I think 12 is live now as well, so do feel free to check out 12. Hi, 12. How you doing? Actually, 12 can get in the bin. Because Dr. Mike came in here and says, do you know what? Thanks for letting me join ICU clan. 12 is sat out there going, do you know what? I'm not going to join any PUBG clan. Like, oh, so you're too good for anyone? Is that what it is? Oh, no, everyone wants me, so I'm just going to remain clan-ambiguous. Clan-biguous. That's what I am. Get in the bin. Get in the bin. God.
He made his own, didn't he? He's just sat in his own on his own. In his own clan on his own. Yeah, I'm sure he has.
Get out. Get out.
Fuck that guy.
Get out. VR is great, but it hasn't taken over the gaming like they imagine. It has like 3D movies. That's the comment I was on about. Thanks, Zach. VR porn with Bibby. Oh, baby, I have a Renault Clio that's 21 years old. Exactly. And your Renault Clio that's 21 years old, I bet, I mean, I don't know what the price of second-hand cars, but I bet that's less than $1 grand now. I mean, I don't know. The second-hand car market went tits up like a couple of years ago. It could be $8 grand now. I don't know, but I bet you can get probably 2 or 3 of those for the price of one of these headsets. You can get a Renault Clio for each eye, as opposed to one lens for each eye. There you go. Also, if you need a glass, you might have to pay for your prescription lenses if your eyesight is bad enough that you can't tolerate the standard ones in it. Oh yeah, by the way, this headset's only great if your eyes are perfect. If your eyes aren't perfect, there is an extra cost. Surely,
yeah, I've got a gammy left eye.
Surely
I'll be fucked with that.
That's like what's the example I'm going for? So like Costa and things like that used to charge you extra for soya milk. If you had intolerances, they used to charge you extra. And then people were like, well, that's actually discrimination for people that have lactose intolerances and so on. So you're charging me extra to consume your products because I have a disability. So they were like, oh, okay, well, we'll change all that sort of shit now. So they don't do that anymore. But is that not this, but with technology? I know your eyes aren't quite right, but for you to enjoy it, we will have to give you bad sight tax. So, yeah, sorry, mate. I know you've got glasses, but you paid for them already, but you got to pay again. Unlucky. They reckon coming out of the pandemic, we have a generation of people who have no social skills and struggle to integrate in the workplace. I present to you, Bibby.
I'm a pillar of someone who has a big fucking mouth.
Goddamn right. And I'd like a pillow the size of his big fucking mouth. DVDs, I still buy them to my movie shelf, and so you should. Exactly. Seems they're saying 12K in a system to try and justify their price. Can I pay with sprinkles? Yes. Yes, you can. I like tech, but I'm never a day one buyer. I can't justify going high end. I shop smart for good tech, not exceptional tech. That said, I have a 4K TV that's been going 10 years and a home cinema that's been going 12 years. But that's it, though. You buy a 4K TV 10 years ago, that would have been not good tech. Maybe not the top tech, but that would have been great tech. And that's the reason why you've still got it 10 years later. Because not everyone, 99% of people don't go and buy Sony's flagship model for 2023. They will buy Sony's flagship model for 2021, but in 2023, when it's like 40% of the price. That's what most people will buy. Or they'll just go to, is Argos still a thing? Argos, Currys, Dixon's, whatever you get your stuff from now, and they'll just buy the one that looks pretty decent. Some people, like me, will look for things for gaming, like getting the right mix between fresh rates and so on, but also that isn't going to cost me a fortune because it's a TV. I've got monitors for that sort of shit as well. So there's nobody ever goes out there and goes, yeah, 12 grand TV, unless you are someone being referenced in an Apple presentation. At that point, yeah, you buy everything that costs 15 grand. Why not? Pogs are not a fad. They will live forever. I mean, I fucking love Pogs, by the way. Super Gym Tech. Do you know what? Complete off tangent, and I should probably not say this because we are well over time, but I once, do you know when you find, like, dodgy stashes, like you go into a bush and there'll be a bunch of Razmags and stuff like that, whatever. I once found a bum bag, or a fanny pack if you're American, the Mr. Motivator, like, front zip-up pouch kind of thing, full of Pogs and Slammers when I was in junior school. When like someone either dropped it or hid it and I found it. I mean, naturally I didn't hand that in. I kept that shit because I was like 12 and it was fucking amazing. Like Chupa Chups, shiny Slammers and everything. Wonderful. Anyway, if you're not old enough to know what Pogs are, get out of this podcast. Get out of here. Okay, if you aren't, just Google it. Cool. I've only had one TV that was brand new in my entire life. VR is a novelty, to be honest. I got 3 kids. I'd have that on for 1 minute and my daughters would get me straight off it. Exactly. Either because they've broken and or set fire to something, or they've set fire to something they've broken, or because they want to go. Either way, you're not on it. It's the start of the future, though, and also riding theme parks are starting to use it also, which is amazing. Yeah, exactly. Love the idea of VR. We've said this a billion times. We want that Ready Player One, haptic suit, all that sort of fully immersive experience. Don't want the running part of it because I didn't sign up for cardio. If I wanted cardio, I'd be outside touching grass. I don't want that. But I want the idea that I'm running. Just imagine an old person who forgets that they're wearing a headset. Mom, Grandpa's playing with himself again. Yikes. I disagree on tablets. If you ban Android tabs sub 200, it will always be shite. Same as if people did a cheap tablet. If you get a tablet in the same price range, they'll last. Samsung Galaxy tablets are good, but there's a lot of shite. Yeah, put the good for parts. Exactly.
You see, I do actually want an iPad at some point so that I can use my Fee Golf properly. So I've got the apps for Fee Golf, but there's one called E6, which is like your proper driving range stuff. But I don't want to part with like the 400 quid that I'm going to need for it. I mean, that £400 compared to like 3 grand for an actual driving range simulator. So, you know what I mean? It's like, you can't even compare it. However, it's 400 quid is still a lot of money to be able to drop to be able to use a driving range, a proper driving range sim. Like, it's,
I mean, I would recommend to you in the next couple of years getting an iPad, purely from, like, it was a really good tool for getting Chloe involved in technology and using things like Duolingo in early days and reading storybooks and playing games and so on. It was really cool for getting her into technology, and then they were starting to use them in schools and stuff there. So there is good crossover there. But that's not just limited to iPads now. I mean, that does go across things, but yeah. We paid about $3,500 for the car a few years back and could probably get the money back. Well, even then, $3,500. You could still get the car for the same price as the headset. Would you want a headset, or do you want a car that can literally take you around the world? Feel free to use my cushion, G. I mean, that is a big old cushion, but I'm not sure it's big enough. Also, if I hold that cushion on Bibby's face, Bibby will still be there. If you smell Bibby with a cushion, do I become an accessory to murder? You know, you just become the new Bibby. But you have to fight the OG Bibby for the name Bibby because, you know, there's already a contest for that. That's where that came from. I thought you'd swapped something for it. I can't remember what I said, so you'll have to remind me. The Those people who leave mags in bushes, it is the epitome of a shame wank. Those people are also future serial killers. Exactly. You owe me one bum bag. I knew I left them somewhere. Oh, that's where that came from. Oh, the pogs. Yeah, okay, I get you now. Yeah, no, I just found pogs. Mine, yoink. So I got a bum bag full of pogs because I found it. Yes, there you go. Nice. Jim, what were you doing around a school in Huddersfield? What were you doing out there with a bag full of pogs? Anyway, okay, do you know what? We are gonna jump onto the next story, but we're gonna pause things here. We will jump onto. Do you know what? I'm gonna do Bibby dirty here because it will be back in the news. I'm gonna fly over the next story because I want to touch on the Twitch one because that's the one most people have been speaking about. I'm gonna fly over the next story, which is the Capcom showcase. There will be a Capcom showcase next week. It's a 36-minute show that will provide nudes. Oh. Nice. The showcase is getting better and better.
Link me, bro.
It will, as well as the nudes, it will provide news and updates on the company's latest games. And that will be taking place on Monday, June the 12th at 11 p.m. BST. That's about 4 hours before I need to get up to go to the airport. So I'm going to be awake anyway, just watching that. So I'm excited. But you can tune in. If we are scooping next week, obviously that's TBC. Maybe we get you and Jim to do it. Get Jim involved. Get Super Jim.
I would love Jim to accompany me.
For those of you who don't know, by the way, I've mentioned it before, but if you are new in the chat or you haven't been here while Jim is here, Super Jim Tendo is part of Team ICU/Team Jelly, by the way. He does make content too, so do feel free to check out Super Jim Tendo. He knows his video games. He knows his stuff. I'm too busy in bushes playing pogs, lads. Sorry. What was it? Oh, there we go. So Capcom Showcase, digital event bringing you the latest updates from the company. We look forward to sharing new information about Capcom's upcoming release and future titles with fans around the world. That's that kind of summarized. We would have usually gone through what we expect to see there. Could we see some Reddit stuff like that or whatever? If you want to have those conversations, Bibby is available in the Discord for all of the conversations, ! Discord. We will have chats as we go. But there is a Capcom showcase next week, as well as Summer Game Fest, and there's the Xbox showcase, and then there's all of the showcases. All of the news will be coming thick and fast. And as much as possible, bearing in mind that we will be half of the team down, unless Super Jim Tendo gets himself out of the bush, or any of the other members in the team, by the way. We'll be half the team down, so we might not bring you as many scoopage. But we'll pause on that and jump into this one, because this is the one that people have been talking about. Written by Joshua Robertson at the Gamer. Twitch angers streamers with new ad rules and then immediately apologizes. Twitch has angered its content creators yet again, this time with bizarre changes to its ad rules. You'd think with how uncomfortable Twitch probably is with rival streaming platform Kick snapping its heels that it would at least do its best not to anger the big content creators it has left. However, streamers are more fed up with the platform than ever, and some new changes to its ad rules are causing many to threaten to leave Twitch for good should they go ahead. Sorry, muted. I had a big old burp rumbling in my throat. To simplify a rather complex topic, Twitch has changed how its users can go about sponsoring their own content. With these new rules, on-stream logos are limited to 3% of the screen, screen size, while burned-in video, display, and audio ads will all be banned going forward. So you can't pay a full-screen video ad. So like we do when we start the stream and we have the ICU one, that would be fine. But if we did that for something else, we'd get banned. So great, fun times. Like the Astro stuff that we announced, the Astro announcement video that we've got, we wouldn't be able to do that because they don't want it. Sponsorships are how a large amount of the biggest Twitch streamers make money on the platform, especially since it maintains its controversial 50-50 revenue split with its creators. Reactions to the new ad rules are pretty negative across the board, with many accusing Twitch of trying to get sponsors to go through the platform itself rather than through streamers. In fact, the reactions from streamers has been so hostile that Twitch apologized for the changes a little over 4 hours after they were discovered, claiming that the branded content policy update was overly broad. That's the problem. It was overly broad. Yes, okay. However, it seems like a lot of the damage has already been done, as many are now accusing the platform of deliberately implementing unpopular changes to see if it can get away with it. Twitch has stated that it's going to update the language, quotes, of the policy, though many believe that this is simply Twitch backtracking to a less controversial policy update. Now it's already riled up so many streamers. We'll have to wait and see whether Twitch reverses any of its new ad rules when it shares its updated policy. As for Twitch's rivals, they've obviously smelled blood in the water and have been promoting their platforms heavily as a result of all this controversy. OTK has threatened to completely leave Twitch should the ad rules stay in place, while Mr. Beast is contemplating streaming on Kick for the first time as a form of protest. If your goal was to push your biggest creators into the arms of your rivals Twitch, then you've certainly accomplished that. Whew. So this came out. Twitch, basically, this insert coin logo up here, if that's too big, you can't do that. No. Even though you as a content creator are making your own content in this platform, all they're doing is giving you a platform for people to tune and view it. You are responsible for everything that you put out in your own space. No, we say what you can and can't do in your own space, like full-on nanny state level of stuff. Don't get me wrong, I don't want someone to have a logo that covers 80% of the screen. It's just a bit tacky. But if someone wants to do that and someone has got paid for that and people are watching and subscribing to their streams, so Twitch is getting paid for that and people are being serviced advertisements for Twitch as a result of that content, then what does it matter? If people are happy enough to sit there with over-the-top shilling that everyone is earning a little bit off, what is the problem? And the problem is that Twitch isn't earning any money off that. So Twitch said, actually, the language we used was too broad. No, it wasn't. The language you used was very specific. You had an image where everything was grayed out and just, we'll use the ice cream logo behind me. That was in colour. Everything, if you listen to this on demand, you just imagine that you can see stuff. If not, great, whatever. So, yeah, all but a 3% image in the top corner was black and white, but then the bit was in colour to show exactly what they're saying you can do with logos. Ironically, someone actually split up the screen that they were showing logo placement on into 100 different blocks so you can see exactly how much a percentage would be, and then figured out that the logo that they were using their example was actually 6%. So 3% would be tiny.
Yep.
So
3% of your screen, genuinely, that is ridiculous. Like, I don't think there's any advert that you would be able to put on 3% of your screen you would be able to visibly see, right? Like, I imagine that one of our what do you call them? The little emojis that we put into the emotes. I imagine like one of those, if you was to put it on the screen at like its smallest, is probably 1%, right? Maybe the tallest one is a 56 by 56 pixels.
I think it's
maybe that might be 1%.
Is the biggest.
It's what? Sorry,
I think 1 to 8 is the biggest size. I'm not 100% sure. I think it is 1 to 8.
So maybe 3 of those next to each other might be a max 3% or something. Like 3% of your screen is genuinely tiny, like illegible. Like you will never be able to see it.
Yeah, and even if you can't see it, like if you watch it on a big screen TV, probably fine. But if you watch it on a mobile device where you're already, depending on how you view on the phone, if you're viewing it in portrait, then you've got it just as a box at the top so you can see the chat at the bottom. You're not going to be able to read it there. The GT Omega logo that's above my head, you probably won't be able to read on a mobile device. But that's fine. We're happy enough with that. We keep these logos of our sponsors here to let you know how you can support us and also to support the people that are supporting us. But we won't have that insert coin logo the entire screen because it's not good for you, it's not good for us, and it won't naturally, therefore, be good for them. So we keep it small because we want a good level of placement, but also quality. So, but that is what we decide on. And Twitch overstepping there by saying, actually, you can't do that sort of stuff. It's not about quality because it's irrelevant. I genuinely believe they are trying to make it too difficult so that people will run the ads through them. One of the things they did say in their response was it was the language they used was too broad or something like that. But then the one thing that where they added at something that actually had some meaning was we basically don't want people to have baked in videos through providers in certain ways, which mirrors other platforms like YouTube and whatever are doing the same sort of thing. But you didn't say that. You very specifically showed people 3%. You had an image that showed them what 3% is or isn't, and not only explained it in words, but with visuals as well. You knew 100% what you were doing there. And I will not believe anything different. And then coming back to me and saying, oh, sorry, it was the language that was wrong. Like someone, it was Live Action Pixel, Nick, friend of ICU, who's been in the stream a few times, tweeted something, and I saw it because Shaw retweeted it this morning, and he basically said the gaslighting now. So not only did they say something that was bullshit, they are now telling us that the language misconveyed it, so we misunderstood what they were getting at. So we are the ones that are at fault, not them, which is stupid, which is just say, look, we were being greedy. We understand that this is absolutely atrocious, considering the fact that there is an ongoing conversation about how feasible it is for people to maintain not just a living, but a good state of mental health as a content creator in 2023 on Twitch. Like the amount of money that isn't available now compared to the past because of things like subsplits, but also because of the things like there is YouTube, there is Kick, there is Trovo, there is, I don't know if there is DLive anymore, but whatever, the other platforms that are still out there, people can consume content in different places. There's more on-demand content available through things like Netflix and Disney Plus and stuff, so people have a lot more choice and
yeah.
All of that combined with the fact that there is tons of adverts, which make your viewing experience a lot harder, and ad systems that keep being changed in the back end, which only just seem to be making your ad payouts even worse and worse and worse. Not that we live off ad payments. We are looking the fact that our stuff is on the side. We don't consider revenue from Ice Cream Uploads. Literally everything that comes from Ice Cream Uploads goes back into the stream. We do this because we enjoy this. We don't get away from this, which is why the scoops happen sporadically. But if we were living on this sort of stuff, it'd be a completely different thing. Bringing you the scoop would not happen. It is not a viable, profitable form of entertainment. We get more viewers watching Bibby driving to the wall on Lego 2K Drive. We get more viewers watching Lotus carry me on PUBG. So we would play PUBG more often rather than doing the scoop, because the scoop doesn't get us all of the views, but the scoop is something that we do. So if we were living hand to mouth like a lot of creators are on Twitch, the scoop would have been dropped 3 years ago because, oh, that was a nice try, but yeah, unless we work with sponsors on every show, we're not going to be able to do that because it just wouldn't pay for itself. So yeah. Yeah, bag of shit. So Twitch anger streamers with new ad rules immediately apologizes, and absolutely should. I am a big fan of Twitch. I know Twitch has a lot of haters right now, and justified. I am a fan of Twitch because I don't have the stress of having to do it 24/7. But there is a lot of good people at Twitch. There is a very, very good community, plus some dickheads, obviously, in any community, on Twitch. So I'm still very, very pro Twitch and very thankful for the platform, but I understand why so many people that have a lot more, that have life, not just enjoyment and community and cooperation and fun. That's basically what Twitch is for me. But for a lot of people, it's not just that, but it's that and life. And if someone makes such a drastic, unconsidered and blatantly stupid decision and will happily reverse it within 4 hours, like that, then I understand why people are pissed, because that's someone's life that you are messing with. So do better, because that is tragic. That is tragic. Let me jump back up then and catch up. My battery's down, so bye. Bye, Lick. I love that they blame poor choice of language. No, they realised the outrage they caused. Yeah, you had Mr. Beast going over to Kick. You had Ninja quote tweeting it as well. There's Graham_Day on Twitter quote tweeted it with the word oof in there as well. So
does Mr. Beast actually stream on Twitch?
I've no idea. I'm not aware of him doing that, but Mr. Beast is that big that he probably does and probably doesn't, but he doesn't need to. But if he does, he'll get more views than anyone else anyway. So, but the idea of him specifically going to stream on Kick is different from him not streaming on Twitch. because
Yeah.
it's the ambiguity that comes with. I didn't know that he did or didn't, whereas now I know he streams there is a different concept entirely. And I think that's the thing that Twitch realized that okay, that is very damaging. So
Yeah. He's essentially aligning himself with Twitch at that point.
Yeah.
If he doesn't do it already, then he's already him choosing a side is a massive statement.
Like I was watching the responses. I don't know if they embedded it in this article. No, they've not got it embedded in this article. But oh no, there is a link out to it. Let me see. Is this it? Oh, it is. There we go. Nice. Okay, I can open it up. I saw this yesterday at Kick Streams Live. Which is that? I think that's like a fan account. I'm not sure. Maybe it seems like it, because Kick has the gold ticks and stuff. Anyway, Kick Streams Live says the GOAT just followed us. It's time for Kick to take over. Obviously, showing that Mr. Beast had just followed Kick Streams Live after he tweeted, "Hey Twitch, how about instead of hand capping what creators make, you help them make more? Seems more logical," which naturally does. I mean, easy to say, harder to do, but I get the sentiment. Anyway, so then he then tweeted, "I might do a stream for fun just to protest Twitch," to which Elongated Muskrat responded, "Great." So yeah. So he's not actually aligned himself. He's just chewing the fat. He's shooting the shit. He's one of the boys having a joke, but when it's Mr. Beast, one of the boys having a joke suddenly means you've got, I mean, what's his followers on Twitter? That's 20 million of the boys.
Yeah.
Suddenly having a conversation there. Obviously, girls not excluded. It's just one of those royal phrases. But yeah, that's a big statement. So if you got him taking the piss like that, then your brand becomes a laughingstock. So they had to say something. The fun thing is, though, that this has clearly gone through not just internal levels of someone writing content. They've had discussions about what they feel is acceptable. It's in their TOS sort of stuff. So it's gone through legal, multiple layers of sign-off, and then they reversed it in 4 hours. That shows you how weak and flimsy the decision is. It's just not viable, and it should never have been there.
They don't have the right people in the room. I feel like the people, it's just board members and then nobody else. There's no QA team there. There's no community manager that would have seen this coming an absolute mile away. So yeah, it's a shame that this didn't get put through the right channels first, just to be able to try and stop this.
You click on Twitch's tweets and you will see lots of people, particularly the one where they apologized. You will see lots of people saying, "Why didn't you just consult creators?" It's not like you don't have access to them. These are people that are literally your platform. You have access to every single one of them. If Twitch said, "Ninja, I want to ask you a question." I'm only using Ninja because obviously was the face of Twitch. Now he's ambiguous, platform specific. Okay, we'll go with Summit or Pokimane or one of those kind of people. If they went to those and says, "We want to ask you some questions about platform stuff," genuinely, they would respond. They'd be like, "Yeah, okay." Unless they have to go through management shit. Management can be kind of annoying there. Not always. Some influencer managers are great. Some are a bit But if you've got content creators that are genuinely invested in the future and betterment of content creation for everyone, they would get involved in that. And even if you can't speak to Summit or the top level, there are literally millions of people, millions of content creators, millions of channels that would offer you some sort of feedback and go, "That is garbage." As a top level, as a mid level, as a low level, as a bottom level content creator, where you are from a finance perspective, that is where you are in that world will give you different insight. It's like, no, I get some trickle down economics. I get some little bits of cash payout from the ads that I run on my channel. But I don't have all of the viewers, so the ads don't keep me sustained. But what keeps me sustained is the fact that I've built up a relationship with my local coffee shop, coffee brand, coffee distribution company, whatever, and I put their banner on my site and I get a kickback from them, I get paid from them up front and a kickback on anything that I sell. That is the stuff that allows me to keep the dream alive of being a big content creator, established with editors and all sorts behind me. I'm not there yet. But as soon as Twitch takes that away, instantly gone. They could have spoken to any one of millions of content creators that rely on those relationships, that can't just live off of the Twitch rivals money that they get pumped or whatever, and they would have had that information. They could, but they didn't. That's the problem. Here's some non-broad language. Twitch are fucking idiots. Nice, pea honey. I mean, and this is the thing. This is where it's annoying because I will vouch for Twitch all day because I will vouch for my experiences with the people that I work with on Twitch. I have made, not just for Ice Cream and not just for the communities on Ice Cream, but for some of the brands that we work with, I have been involved with some wonderful teams that understand the brand, that understand video games, that have true passion for it. But those clearly aren't the people that made these decisions. So yeah, Twitch are idiots. Caveat, obviously. I like the idea of Twitch complaining about ads when as a sub I got Twitch ads on and off for 5 months, even though I was subbed. How ironic. Twitch just put another ad on.
Yeah. Well, but they also put the price up for Turbo as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Very recently.
It's like $8.99 to like $11.99, despite giving nothing extra for the service. It's literally the exact same thing, just more expensive. I feel attacked to come back to Graham saying there are some dickheads in the community. I pride myself on my dickish behaviour, and we appreciate it, Zag. Absolutely. 100% Twitch will not walk away from this. It's just them lying. How many times have they walked back to only bring back another system that's worse or a reworded way of what they just said? They did consult creators on this year ago. Supposedly what was leaked from OTK that this was brought up with them, and they asked for opinions on how to do it, and then they came out with this, and that's why OTK was so overzealous in their reply. Interesting. Didn't know that. Nice. That's good to know. So they consulted people and just gave a big royal fuck you to the responses. Great consultation. You'll love to see it. Listening to the give it. Yeah, not a fan. And also that reworded sort of, they'll just bring it back. That happens all the time. We want the congestion charge in Manchester. Manchester says no. So they bring in the green air zone that you don't get a chance to vote on, and squash all of the 3-lane roads into Manchester into single-lane motorways to make more traffic. Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's this. Anyway, that's enough of my local traffic updates. We're done. We're going to leave it there. So we do have a couple of extra articles to go through. The fact that there's new storage devices for Xboxes and PlayStation's games for PS Plus for June. We'll save those for tomorrow because it's been a busy old day. So do feel free to join us 10 a.m.-ish tomorrow for the next episode of The Scoop, where we will go through those and probably some extra bits of news. Before that happens, though, do feel free to keep your eyes on our socials because we will have some posts going out talking about the Logitech bundle that we will have to give away, spoilers, later in the year. But it's a cool thing before that happens. So yeah, nice. Just a little way of us to interact with you guys. So keep your eyes out for that. We'll tell you more about it on stream tonight as well. So do feel free to join us for that. But before any of that happens, Mr. Bibb.
Yes.
No.
No.
Is there another man in a banana boat anything you'd like to add, mate?
Yes. Thank you very much for joining us for today's episode of The Scoop. That's 2 down, potentially 2 more to go. So if you want to help shape those 2 remaining shows, there's 2 ways that you can do so. First of all, find us on social media. It is at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms or alternative. Get involved with our Discord. If you're watching or listening to this on any of our on-demand services, please go into the description below. All the links that you require will be listed there, but all we need from you is the URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you, we will add our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be at what time tomorrow, Mr. Graham Day?
Well, if it's like today, it will be at 10 a.m.
Confirmed!
Confished. 10 a.m.-ish. Also, before we finish up, Phony Asteroid is other news. I'm other news. It clearly meant in, but you know what I'm like for being a dick and pedantry, so there we go. He's already corrected himself, but I don't care. I'm ignoring that. Warnock is staying another year at Huddersfield. Anyway, that's it. Nice. Okay, we are going to disappear. Stick around for the raid. We're going to drop in on one of our friends, pass on a little bit of
12,
local people.
12.
Who's 12?
We're 12.
Oh, we'll go say hi to 12. And we'll tell him that
and his big head!
His clan's shit and he should join ICU. Puss! Make sure you... Yeah. I mean, be as aggressive as you want. You can tell him his clan shit. You could just say, hi, mate, if you want instead. It's up to you. Whatever. You know, I'm not gonna be your dad or anything. You can do whatever you want. You're your own boss. Now, we appreciate you dropping in. Have yourselves a beautiful day. We'll see you 6:30 p.m.-ish tonight for some PUBG fun times. Keep your eyes on the socials in the meantime to check out how you can bag yourself a Logitech G Gaming bundle. And until next time, stay frosty.
Stay frosty!